this is Chad with Drawn and Cornered. It is Tuesday, October 6th, and here's your news for the day. Trump has finally gotten out of the hospital. That was 4 days. 4 days with COVID. And he's out of the hospital, says he's feeling fine, did a little photo op on the front of the White House and waved to everybody without a mask, which was, of course, the thing that was most interesting to most people. In fact, Caitlin Collins from CNN talked about how this is just the most irresponsible and awful thing she's ever seen. The White House promptly released a video of her in the press room pulling off her mask the minute the cameras went off and talking to colleagues a lot closer than Trump was as he was sitting on the balcony standing on the balcony of the White House. So this whole mask thing is going to be the big issue that you hear about today. It's going to be about Trump putting the Secret Service at risk when he took his little joyride with them. It'll be about Trump putting staff at risk when he takes off his mask and walks into the White House. There's going to be a lot of conjecture about exactly how important masks are, especially when you already have COVID, and exactly where that line is drawn about being responsible and taking care of the people around you. And his messaging overall, he's talking about this as though he beat COVID, he's on top of COVID, don't let it dominate your life, which you can take as him dismissing the disease overall, or you can take it as a message out to those folks that are completely shut down, completely stopped, completely wholesale finished with life until COVID is defeated, that it's not going to destroy everybody. It's of course going to kill people. We go out all the time and take risks in environments that are going to kill people, from driving to the flu to swimming. We do all sorts of risky things because we want to make sure that we're living our lives. And this is going to be an extension of that. And the conversation that we're going to have over probably the next week is going to be exactly about where that line is drawn between the risks you're willing to take to live life and the risks you're not willing to take to live life. I think that's probably going to break down fairly handily along political lines right now, though I don't know that that's entirely honest from either side as far as where that risk actually is. We also had Joe Biden saying yesterday that I think a really important point, that he will listen to the experts when it comes to the next debate and whether or not he should be debating Trump or being in a confined space with somebody who's had COVID or any of the different aspects of that debate that will have to be occurring. He's going to listen to the experts. That's not a shut door. Now, that gives him a little bit of an out, that all he has to do is find an expert that doesn't think this is a good idea and he can say, I don't want to do the debate. But it's also not exactly a shut door. That means that if there are people out there that say that this is a good idea, or if public pressure says that this is probably fine if they socially distance even further, if they wear masks, whatever that has to be, that debate can still occur based on what Joe Biden said yesterday. So I'll be really curious to see if that gets pushed anymore, if there are people that start talking about how Joe Biden shouldn't be a part of this debate because it's just not safe. That will be an interesting thing that comes out. Kayleigh McEnany, the press secretary for the president, also has COVID now. This is going to be very interesting as well because she was dealing with the press pool. When exactly did she know? When was she in contact? And did she know about that contact and the positives of any of those contacts before she went into a press pool and was talking to the press without a mask? This is all going to be about who knew what, when, so to speak, and whether or not they're putting people at risk by not being forthright about the positives that are coming out of the White House right now. So we'll see where that all lands, but I would keep an eye on Joe Biden's answer for the debate coming up on the 15th and what they're going to say about Trump and masking and his responsibility to understand the gravity of what this disease is and how it can affect people, versus his take on the disease, saying essentially we need to start getting back out there, like take care of the vulnerable populations, take care of the people that this is most going to affect, but get out there and start bringing the American economy back, start bringing American life back. Let's do the things that we used to do, knowing that COVID isn't likely to kill most people. That's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to get in touch with me at drawnandcornered@gmail.com. That's drawnandcornered@gmail. You can also Leave a message down in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube, and you'll get more of this every day. Thanks a lot for tuning in.